Hello there, my name's Vinny Voodoo and I haven't made a video in 7 days. That's probably the longest time ever between videos for me since I started making Warzone videos, which funnily enough is my anniversary of doing so on November the 20th, so coming up. And speaking of coming up, one of the reasons that I haven't released a video this week is because basically as information was very quickly coming out of the Warzone change to Caldera, the island of Caldera, it became clear that some of my vids would no longer be relevant, such as things about Verdansk, because in less than 2 months we're blowing the bugger up and destroying it. Now, if you want to see the roadmap for that, it's a long read, and I'll cover some of the highlights I think that I saw with regards to Warzone in a moment. You can go to callofduty.com and then look for the roadmap option there. And we'll talk about that in a bit. I mean, one of the other reasons is even though Plunder is back, as you can see on the right there, it looks like this. Yes, pea soup. I remember the game Turok on the N64 looking exactly the same, but that was a technical limitation of the N64, not a decision made based on design. I have no idea why they let Plunder look like that, but they did. Not to worry, because Plunder's about to go away again. And when it's coming back, I'm not sure, because the wording isn't very clear. So without further ado, let's go and have a look at what the roadmap says with regards to Warzone and also any other information I may have found out. And here we are at the run-up to the roadmap, and the first thing I noticed was all of these dates, and it's a lot to take in. But the bottom, December the 2nd there, says Season 1 begins. So I think it's fair to say that by December the 2nd, Verdansk will be gone, and then it will look like this. And then at that point, Call of Duty's changing its name of Warzone to Warzone Pacific, and I've got a feeling that's going to be a separate download. It won't update or patch the current Warzone. It'll be a new download. It'll be much smaller, no texture packs, only streaming, and there we go. That's what it's going to look like. Yeah, I'm excited for that, that's for sure. Now, the next thing I noticed here was it said available to all players in Season 1, Vanguard Royale mode, and later Plunder, showcase all the new content, including weaponry and so on. Now, I don't think this means that Plunder's going to come in later. I think it's going to have its own Vanguard Royale mode in Warzone. That's going to be separate from Battle Royale. And Vanguard Plunder is going to be separate from Plunder. And the reason I say that, because it says down here, in these modes, only Vanguard weaponry can be used in loadouts. This limits the meta, granting new players an opportunity to jump in, and so on and so forth. This doesn't mean, I think, that in Warzone Pacific you can only use Vanguard guns, because that'd be insane if they did that. It does mean that they have 2 new modes that are going to be dedicated only to Vanguard, which means that the map isn't effectively set in 1942 in the other modes. Because it says here, original Warzone vehicles still cruising. So you can have your helicopter and the Bertha and stuff, which that wouldn't make sense if Caldera was set in 1942. I think it's going to look exactly the same as the Vanguard maps that come out of it, and any multiplayer maps that may come out of Caldera. But it does mean that this is not Warzone 1942, so all guns, weapons and stuff will work in that mode. And there we go, a lot to look forward to. I really am excited about this because Warzone's been stagnating for quite some time. Sure, they made some changes. The trip back to the 84 Verdansk wasn't doing it for me, and it never really recovered from it afterwards. Something changed about the feel of it when Cold War was integrated, and since we're now effectively going to Warzone Pacific, effectively Warzone Vanguard it should be called. I mean, obviously the next Call of Duty will change that again, so they're calling it Warzone Pacific, is interesting, and I think it's going to reset some of the niggles that I had with the integration of Cold War. Having said that, Cold War is still in Warzone Pacific, but not in, hopefully, quite as strong a way. They forgot about Modern Warfare pretty darn quick when Cold War came out, and I've got a feeling they're going to forget about Cold War when Vanguard comes out. But we shall see. Anyway, this is a brief update. I am still working on videos up to the run-up to the destruction of Verdansk, and we'll look at them soon. But in the meantime, it leaves me to say that my name's Vinny Voodoo, and thanks for watching.